So we're going to start with some white fondant and a little bit of brown fondant. Knead the two colors together until you get the desired look. If you feel like your skin tone is not dark enough, add a bit more of brown fondant as you go. If you're done kneading, roll your fondant into a ball. Cover your ball with vegetable shortening and then cover it with plastic wrap. This is going to prevent your fondant from drying out. So here I baked 4 6-inch chocolate cakes. Make sure your cake layers are frozen when you begin your carving. This is really going to help you out. So just start to carve the corners of your cakes just as shown. Make sure to do it little by little. Start to give your cake a little bit of shape and giving it that round effect that we want. Also keep in mind that it does not have to be perfect. You can always fill it in with buttercream. If you feel like you can't carve your cake and you just want an easier step, then go ahead and buy the semicircle. It makes it a lot easier, but just keep in mind that once you bake it in a semicircle pan, it's going to take very long for it to bake, and that's truly one of the reasons why I just chose to carve instead. So now I'm layering my cakes, and then I fill them with tres leches mix. Once you're done, begin to fill your cake. I filled my cake up with cream cheese frosting and fresh strawberries. Crumb coat your cake just as shown and then pop it into the freezer. Repeat this step on the other cake. After I took it out of the freezer, I got a flashcard and I began to smooth out all the icing. That way it's a very smooth surface for when we put on our fondant. I mixed cake and a bit of icing to create sort of a cake pop mixture. I used that to fill in any gaps in between the cakes and give it a more realistic look. So this is the final product after I finished eyeballing the cake mixture. Now I added a rectangular cake to create the back. So I gave the cake a waistline, and with whatever was cut, I started filling in the gap between the butt and the back. Before I place my fondant, I frost my cake with a thin layer of whipped cream. I decided to frost a thin layer since the fondant was already sweet and I didn't want this cake to be overpowering with sweetness. Chill your cake, and now we can start rolling out our fondant. Now cut out a rectangle using a knife and then gently place that on your back. Sure to gently smooth out your fondant, that way there's no tears. Now cut off the excess fondant. Repeat this step for each of the cheeks. I rolled out some red fondant and began to cut out the underwear. I did half and half so it was easier for me, and then with the wet finger, I kind of meshed them together. Finally, I piped some rosette designs for the final look. And there it is. Thank you guys so much for watching.